Okay, this is another message from Allah or Horus or Jehovah or God, whatever name you call him by. Okay. So, this is something coming from me. I just spoke to him about it. And one thing about religion I am not too cool with as far as the just belief in general is y'all not being honest with people about the stuff y'all believe in. Like y'all trying to show people the beauty and the glamour of all the stuff you believe in. But then the second that a person comes to your beliefs, they get sucked in by the majesty of it. Next thing you know, now you start revealing all the ugly to them. It's like, and these are words from Allah, not me. I'm just passing along. Y'all pretty much doing like what Lucifer did when he was taking Jesus up on the mountains to tempt him with all the worldly stuff. He shows him all the beauty of the worldly stuff he can own, but he never tells him the things that could go horribly wrong. That's pretty much what religion's doing. Allah's words, not mine. He said, man, because I asked him, I'm like, Father, why is it every religion you allow me to be a part of or some religious belief you allow me to learn? Why is it I feel like they tricked me into it? He said, that's what all religions do. He said, because the fact of there's teachers that were sent from the abyss to rewrite history and cause chaos amongst humanity to turn them away from me, that's what happens. Instead of people being wholehearted and their fruits bearing, ripe and all that stuff, and the stuff they tell you sounding good in your ears, so you join with honesty, and then you find out, oh, this ain't what I thought it was. They're lying to you by trying to tell you all the good stuff. Then you join, then you find out all the ugly behind it. Then it's too late because now you done got sucked in. And I don't mean it's too late like, oh, you can't never leave, but the point is, the religion that's trying to suck you into it is supposed to be the image of God's spirit. So if you feel like that religion's lying to you about how they really feel and how they really do things, then that's going to make people think God is like that. Like, for example, when I lived on the north side, I had a friend, I told you he was a Jehovah's Witness. I backed out of that because they shame too many people for not wanting to believe stuff the way that they do. I'm not for that. I really don't like religions that shame people. If, like, say for example, someone decides to be gay, you can't be a witness. And I haven't seen a white Jehovah's Witness, but I'm pretty sure they exist, just not where I went because I didn't see none. I saw all blacks, but no white people. Anyway, so then I met this one guy, I forgot what his name was, but his mom, she was Muslim. And so I was asking her about the whole, does Allah, because she was teaching me about the Quran and Allah and what his name means and the Prophet Muhammad that they follow and everything. And she taught me that their creed is love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, all that. So I was asking her, like, okay, now, does Allah hate gay people? She said, and this is a Muslim woman, and she was, I think, African Muslim. I'm not sure what her creed was, but she was very down to earth. She said that Allah, or she said the all-knowing, all-wise, almighty Allah, creator of the universe, heaven and earth, all that, all-knowing Allah, never created anything that he hates. So if someone's gay, Allah can accept them for who they are as long as they're honest, don't lie about it. But at the same time, sometimes it's hard for people to be honest with their lifestyle because they don't know who's willing to accept it because they've never seen God. So how do they A, know he exists, and B, how do they know he's going to accept them if they never actually seen him before? And the sad part is, since no one's ever actually seen God before, anyone can use the image of God to be anything they want it to be to, try to put fear into people to do what they want them to do. Basically use God's image to control people and how they do things. Anyway, but what she was telling me was, And her beliefs as a Muslim that you're not supposed to hate your brother nor hate your sister. You're not supposed to look down on nobody. You're supposed to leave all that judging stuff up to Allah, for He's the only one who truly knows the hearts of a person and why they do what they do. That's why no man's supposed to judge, because unless you know both sides of the story, you'll be judging someone out of ignorance, which means you're only going by what you see that person doing at that time. You don't know what led them to do what they did. So, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are going to be judged off the fact that they judge someone else for the shit they don't even know why that person did. Like, for example, if you judge somebody for being gay, you're only seeing that person for that gay night, right? Like right now. You're seeing that person with another person of the same gender right now. But you don't know, did that person try women way back in the day and stuff just didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they might have been touched by one of their loved ones, which scarred them. But that don't always lead to that road, but sometimes it may. You never know. But her basic point to me was that God didn't create one human, no matter what your sexuality, your race, your gender, your political standpoint, whatever religion. He didn't create not one person that He hated. If He hated you, you wouldn't be here. And hate's not in God's creed anyway. And if you don't know what a creed means a particular lifestyle choice that you choose to live. It's just so it's understood, a particular mindset or a belief that you choose to stand by. Particular principle or way of doing stuff. And then God's creed is not hate. But anyway, so yeah, she was just explaining to me about, you know, how when you step into a Muslim's house, you take your shoes off in respect and not track dirt to their house. They light a lot of incense too, but she explained to me that to light incense and oil and all that, it purifies the air in your house and it gets rid of all the negative energy and the negative spirits, which is very true, because when I walked in there, it felt very peaceful. And it smelled like a lot of vanilla and lavender. Definitely remember that. Then she was nice enough to, offer me some fish and some potatoes, stuff like that, because Muslims don't eat meat. They're not supposed to, because Muhammad never ate meat. Jesus never did it. They ate fish to keep their body clean, all that kind of stuff. Then she was explaining to me about, what's it called, Ramadan, I do believe? Yeah, that. And the thing on her head called a veil, I think it is. Yeah. Then she explained to me why Muslims wear it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then her son only having one arm, and I asked her, you know, are you aware that your son only has one arm? Which obviously she was. And she said, yeah, but she feels like that was Allah's way of testing her to see if her belief in the Father would fade because her son was born a certain way she wasn't okay with, but never stopped her. She still loved her son and went to her mosque and still did her thing for Allah. I'm like, wow. Unfortunately, her son did get bullied a lot about it, but I met him. He was actually a very nice guy. Very nice. A little younger than me, but very nice guy. He was telling me how, you know, his mom been going through a lot and how she's been trying to help him deal with that and help him deal with his self-esteem and everything. I was like, oh, that's what's up. But other than that, yeah, those are very cool people. But the good thing is about them, they never tricked me into following what they believe. They told me exactly what they believe and why. I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. But then I had to meet the darker side of Islam when I met one of my homies back in high school, and I met his parents, and they were Muslim. But then I found out there's a racist side to Islam, which I wasn't aware of, that apparently there's certain types of Muslims that love all people of all creeds. Then there's certain types of Muslims that are not fond of everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean white people. White people. That's the thing. That is a thing. Which I'm like, wait, so you hate someone because of their skin color. Their thing is, they treated us like crap our whole existence, and they're white devils, this, that, and the third, about slavery and way back in the day. I'm like, okay, this is a bit much. And then they shame you if you decide to marry outside your race. They call you weak. They call you a sellout. I'm like, see, this is what y'all ain't understanding. To love and to marry someone don't got nothing to do with the flesh. It's about the spirit. And if God put two people together, it's because he's seen their spirits go together. Or the twin flames, the chakra, the aura, whatever you want to call it, the universe, divine intervention, predestination, the will of Ezekiel, whatever you want to call it, the will of the Buddhists, either way it goes. But it was weird because all I kept hearing was white people this, white people that, white people are the devil, white people treat us like crap. Why should we love white people? They're different. They're not our brother or our sister. We don't have nothing to do with them. Allah's going to throw all them in hell. Allah don't care nothing about them. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. This is not what I learned in 2007. What is this shit here? Then they're just saying how all white people are the enemy, all white people are the devil, all white people are going to burn in hell. I'm like, oh, this is different. But then way before that, when I lived in Oakland, I met this Middle Eastern couple who was very nice, and they invited me over to the house, fed me. I met their son. I forgot what his name was, but he was very nice. And, you got to take your shoes off in their house, too. And it also smelled like that same stuff in their house. Then I was asking them about the same thing, but they told me the same thing the first lady told me about. Allah doesn't hate nobody. Allah didn't create anyone that he hated, and if he hated them, they wouldn't be here, all that kind of stuff. So somewhere down the line, I kind of picked up this whole thing about God hating his creation is not real. But somewhere down the line, somebody got that twisted and decided to just say, screw that person, they're gay, screw that person, they're white. The crazy thing is, and I've studied this in the Quran, even though I'm not Muslim. I studied the Torah, but I ain't Jewish, so whatever. The funny thing I noticed about this stuff is, what was I going to say? Oh, I forgot. Shit, it'll come back to me. Anyway, the fact that y'all religions teach hate like that, and y'all say y'all follow God is not cool. That's kind of why I had to learn the hard way. Like, if somebody can't give me a good reason to hate somebody, and I mean other than skin color, that's a no-no for me. If you can't give me a reason to hate somebody other than their gender or their sexual preference, and that's a no to me. If the only reason you hate someone is because they're white or they're gay or something, yeah, I ain't fucking with it. Because, I can understand someone being gay, but that's not a reason to hate someone because they're gay. Or lesbian, bisexual, transgender, A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. That is not cool. You can dislike them because they ain't shit or they don't want you to be none in life, but hate them because they're gay? That's dumb as hell. That's like somebody hating you because you're black. That's dumb as hell. And I'll say it again. If anyone should not have hate towards anyone in their heart, it's niggas. Because we done been through almost every hate crime known to man. And the fact that we hate someone because they're different is something we should be ashamed of, because we've been hated for being different for over 500 years, and yet we hate someone because they're gay. Need to really look into that one. But, yeah, guess that was it for the moment, so, peace.